This year I decided to try growing my own wheat. I was raised in Kansas and grew up watching many of my farmer friends grow and harvest wheat. The way growing wheat is done today fascinates me. Heavy machinery, pesticides, and genetically engineered varieties make for very high yields compared to even 100 years ago. I wanted to see how hard it would be for someone with little farming experience to grow wheat in their backyard. I acquired some LCS mint variety seed from my local farmer friend who I traded some homemade honey mead and honey with. This variety is a hard red winter wheat which is great for milling, bread making, and cereal. This variety requires vernalization, or the induction of a plant's flowering process by exposure to the prolonged cold of winter. This variety grows easily in the Kansas climate, and LCS mint is also engineered for the Great Plains. Last summer, my dad and I fixed up my great-grandfather's old tiller that he used in his garden many years ago. In the back of my parents' 5-acre property, we broke ground for the first time in September. The wheat was then sown on November 5th. Here's the progression. The wheat is now ready to harvest, so please enjoy. I'll just kind of walk you through what we're doing for this harvest. It's by hand, obviously. Ellen and I are doing this by ourselves with the help of these annoying chickens that keep coming up into the wheat and clucking and whatnot. So anyways, the process that we're using to harvest this wheat is with some shears, and we're just basically taking it and getting, maybe 20 heads off and then shoving it down in this bucket that we have. Ellen's bucket's right there. So yeah, we've been working this for probably 40 minutes or so. And we're probably a third of the way done, so we'll keep going at it. But yeah, this is the just the method where we're actually removing the heads. So I'll just go ahead and do a couple. Just like that. Different parts of the patch got different amounts of water or lesser amounts of water, so they grew better or worse. But like this stuff right here is nice and flat. Over there it gets kind of choppy, and then there's even like a dry spot, or actually it's an overly wet spot. But yeah, so we just cut. Place it in the bucket. So once we get a bucket filled up, then we'll come over here and pump one of the chickens. No, but we'll go ahead and put it inside of this tote. We'll kind of mash it down a little bit to get all of it in there. And so this has probably been about 5 or 6 buckets so far. So essentially what I'm doing is I cut a little bit of this top off so that I can fit this weed whacker in there. And essentially I'm just sticking the weed whacker in and kind of going at it. And it's breaking the wheat berries away from the head. All right, so once we get this pretty well broken up, what we're gonna have is some loose wheat kernels. Yeah, it's pretty dusty. Some loose wheat berries with all the chaff that's kind of broken up. And it's broken up well enough that some wind will be able to push it out of the way whenever we drop this into another bucket, so that the wheat berries drop, since they're heavier and denser, right down into the secondary bucket, and then all the chaff blows in the wind. If we come over here, I'll go ahead and show you that process. It's not that windy, astonishingly, for Kansas. So we're gonna create some wind with this little fan. And basically what we'll end up doing is just dumping it in. Now, we'll have some heads that kind of fall out on the side. These still have a little bit of wheat berries in them, so we might pick those up, but what we'll do is just end up alternating, kind of dumping into one bucket and then dumping into the other bucket.